Happy holidays. Okay, don't think, Jacqueline, what are you talking about? It's still warm outside. I know, but guess what? We want to get you uber prepared for this holiday season because what we want is that you can get consistent sales, right? Have steady growth and keep growing your business beyond always having to offer a discount during the holiday season to drive sales. So, if you want to get prepared while it's still warm outside, you can jump in and grab 101 content ideas beyond the holiday discount. And it is a bundle of content prompts, tools, hashtags, and templates. And it includes a 3-month calendar with things to say every single day from October to December. It is so helpful. So go out, enjoy the sunshine, and feel uber prepared for the holiday season when you grab yours now. Just head to holidaycontentideas.com. Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we're dedicated to helping product-based business owners turn into revenue-generating, successful, happy product bosses. I'm Jacqueline Snyder.
And I'm Nina Kunosita. Together through digital courses, coaching, and masterminds, we've helped over 50,000 students from startup to multi-million-dollar businesses scale their sales while blending in their dream life.
It gets lonely out there in the product business world. We fully believe a business shouldn't be built alone. There's room at the top for all of us.
So let's get scrappy and creative together, Product Boss, to be profitable, make more sales, and grow your visibility.
Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey friends, and welcome back to another episode. This is going to be a fun one. As you know, it's been about 30 days, if you're listening in real time, since we opened and closed doors to Multi-Stream Machine, our signature implementation program that has had incredible results. Now, I know in that time you heard us share a lot of stories of what people have done and their wins and how they've transformed their lives and they've transformed their businesses. But we've done a couple posts. We love to keep track of what our students are doing. And we have some where are they now stories we want to share with you because we're just so proud of the MSM student wins that we are seeing. And we're seeing all of them inside of their private Facebook community.
Yeah, we're going to pan out a little bit because even reading all the ones for the 30-day wins, there's people that have, made their investment back in a week, some of them a day, and we're going to pan out a little bit to show you where you could end up when you take action. Even in little steps of imperfect action, it feels like, where am I headed? And so these stories that we're going to share with you are, people who are in our multi-stream machine program and they've taken one step in front of the other, albeit imperfect, which is our favorite way. That's exactly how we operate. And they've transformed their lives in those, taking one step in front of the other, like kind of the snowball effect that Jacqueline and I love to talk about of, you just take that first next step. And then after that, you take the next step. But what's the beauty of that is that we help you with those steps. Right. And then it starts to build upon this dream life that we're always talking about and how people have really, and how our dream lives are different than other people's dream lives. So you'll start to hear like looking back because we're starting to be in kind of that time of year where a good look back is definitely needed of reassessing what you want in your life and what you want it to look like.
Absolutely. So we're going to share 3 different where are they now stories with you today. And for our multi-stream machine students that are listening, we'd love to know from you too. So head over into that private community that's only for our students in multi-stream machine and share looking back, hashtag looking back or hashtag MSM wins. We'd love to see the wins that you're having and celebrate you as well. So Mina, should we kick off with our famous Annika of HeyMavens?
I mean, for sure, because I think that everybody loves this story. And on top of it, like, I feel like it was a giant win for us all because now we have a baby in our midst,
Yeah, our baby grandchild our baby product boss grandchild.
Yes. So I think this is the perfect story to kick off because it's like a real tangible difference, like a baby, and then also getting to see like the little hurdles and accomplishments that went into that.
Right. So Annika posted inside of the Multi-Stream Machine group and wrote, "What a wild year it has been. Looking back at 2022, MSM has helped me achieve so many wins. There are too many to count. Here are the highlights." Okay. So celebrated 1 year of owning my brick and mortar shop, opened a 2,000 square foot warehouse, enjoyed multiple high 5-figure months, had our IVF baby that MSM paid for, which is just gives me chills literally every time we say that. Went on emergency early maternity leave, and my team handled 100% of the business operations with zero interruption so I could focus on my family, and sent out over 10,000 bras. So Annika says, MSM has impacted almost every aspect of my life, from growing my business to creating the baby I never thought I'd be lucky enough to meet. I'm so thankful for the freedom and security this program has created for me. I mean,
I mean, amazing. It literally, I'm like tearing up thinking about that baby that MSM created for Annika, because Annika would always say, I'm making a baby with science. And she took the steps, like she invested in herself to get there. Now, we want to read out these stories because when Annika first came to us, she literally felt overwhelmed. She did not know how she was going to do it. She was a handmade business that felt like she was drowning in all the to dos and had no way to scale, and she was struggling to create the life that she wanted, even though she could see that she wanted a baby, even though she could see that she wanted a way to scale her handmade business. But sometimes it's just so hard to see what to do, you know?
right. And I think, and if you all want to go back to Annika's story, you can listen to our female founder episode. It's episode 225, episode 225, called Put On Your Big Girl Panties and Show Up Live with Annika. So I think it's a great way to kind of kick off and hear where Annika was. And this was back in January of 21. And us almost 2 years later, where Annika is now. And I think the really great thing in terms of the story is that when Annika first came to us, she had already literally burnt a business down in a garbage can. She had a maternity business that she was so over, and it was so overwhelming. It wasn't doing. She like threw all the patterns and fabric into a dumpster and lit it on fire. And then when she decided to start again and start HeyMavens as a body inclusive lingerie company that is still
Handmade
completely
lingerie.
handmade, still completely handmade in the US, just not made with her own two hands, right? She was able to employ sewists and cutters and all the things. And so if we were to tell Annika, 2, 3 years later, this would be your story, I think Annika would like chuckle out loud. Like,
I mean,
sounds
probably like
nice, but
a crazy, because here is the thing. I remember that she told us in that interview, I'm pretty sure it's in that interview, that when she was burning the other business, literally burning it to the ground in that dumpster fire, she cried so hard that she gave herself two black eyes. So she cried so hard that her blood vessels popped in her eyes and gave her black eyes. Now, if she could turn to Annika back then and Annika now and be like, it'll be okay, you're going to have this life, then I think that she could, like, that would be amazing, right? That she could go back to that person, because the thing is, Annika back then just didn't have the way to do it. She didn't have the encouragement. She felt like hopeless in a lot of ways because she was burning into the ground, and I feel like sometimes we
literally.
feel that way. Yeah, sometimes we all feel that way about our businesses. Like, what am I going to do now that I've either burned it to the ground or feel like burning it to the ground? So
Yeah.
look at her life now just by taking action. Now she is a real action taker, let me tell you. Like, she has jumped so far, so fast. And she's created that life that she wants because she worked backwards from it. She had this, she knew she wanted a baby. She knew she had to pay for IVF. She knew that she was not willing to drown in the production of something. She was not willing to give up the handmade aspect too. And she still made it work. So there's things that she's figured out along the way. But I mean, look at the beautiful life that she's created.
So for those of you listening, what we want you to take away from Annika's story is I want you to think about your own story. If we were to ask you where you were a year ago, 2 years ago, where you were and where you are now, right? Maybe this little business that you've started was just an idea and you thought, I want to start a business, but I'm not sure what it is. Maybe you started and things felt harder and things were starting to feel easier. Maybe you found the product boss and found the community you were always looking for and you don't feel so alone. But I want you to think back, because I always say hindsight is 2020. Think back to
Mhm.
where you are and where you were and where you are now. And if you could go back and say it was all going to be okay, and you just have to move forward, you just have to take action. It's just one foot in front of the other. Now, fast forward 2 years, the way Annika, fast forwarded from us tracking. We've been, she's a star here. So we've been tracking her growth as a business owner and personal life and all the things. And then think forward, Annika, if she were to go back to herself then and be like, it's okay. First, invest in yourself. right? First,
Mhm.
learn to not do the same things I've done in the past, one foot in front of the other, and it's all going to work out like in my best interest. And then I
Yeah.
think that helps us feel better as we go into the unknown and we're unsure in the beginning, but in the end we can look back and say we made the right choices.
For sure. I mean, even in her last sentence of this, she says, MSM has impacted every aspect of my life. You know why? It's because she allowed it to. She took the gems where she could, she implemented where she wanted to. So it can't just be like osmosis where it goes into your brain and you hope for it because you invested in yourself. Annika took action. She took the things that she could. It's impacted every aspect of her life because she made it so, right? She took the gems and she put them into action. And I love that about her. She's bold and audacious and all the things. And she made it happen to create this beautiful rainbow, brightly lit life because even in her post, there's all rainbow colors, and in her lingerie, there's all rainbow colors. Like just looking at her life, it's just, that is literally like it represents Annika to a T.
Yeah. So let's move to our next story, which is J.A. Louis. And J.A. Louis, as they describe their position, is chief wire wrangler and boss lady at Buckaroo Bling. So we're really excited to share this MSM win. And do you want to read it, Mina?
Yeah, sure. So this is something that she posted into our Facebook group to share the wins in our community, which is so beneficial because we all get to celebrate each other and lift each other up. Okay, and we get to share the successes and everything. So she says, I own Buckaroo Bling, a small brand that sells classy, handcrafted jewelry for chic cowgirls, boho babes, and cowgirls at heart. I joined MSM in February this year, and looking back, I wanted to share that with MSM's help, and then so she lists out the things of what she's done. And I love that she's put this on on paper because now we'll get to see even a year from now how much this has changed. So she said, I had my first ever 2K month in August. Amazing. And in mid September, I reached the level of revenue I had for the whole 2021. So as you can see, the holiday season is yet to come. So she basically made all of the same amount of revenue from here, 2022, in
By September.
yeah, by September. Yes. So, I mean, amazing, right? Because who knows what the holiday season will bring, right? That could just like triple whatever or whatever it ends up being. She also said that she improved her conversion rate on her website by 36%. I mean, that is spectacular. And wait for this one, Jacqueline. She said, I also increased my average order value by 30%.
Wow.
I mean, that's bonkers. And then she said, there's still a lot of work to be done to reach my goal of finally becoming profitable by the end of the calendar year. But now I have a path to profit thanks to MSM, right? Because when we're starting out and she's hitting that 2,000 and 4,000 or whatever ends up being, we have to start making sure that we have our eyes on the prize. What's the prize? Profit. So when she's just starting out and moving forward, you want to make sure that, okay, her efforts are going somewhere so she can snowball that profit, right? And it comes fast. It can come as fast as you want it to, like Annika, right? But at least she knows that when she's making these tweaks, these conversions, these better average order values, the improved conversion rate, all that, it's to lead to more money in her pocket at the end of the day.
Happy holidays. Okay, don't think, Jacqueline, what are you talking about? It's still warm outside. I know, but guess what? We want to get you uber prepared for this holiday season because what we want is that you can get consistent sales, right? Have steady growth and keep growing your business beyond always having to offer a discount during the holiday season to drive sales. So if you want to get prepared while it's still warm outside, you can jump in and grab 101 content ideas beyond the holiday discount. And it is a bundle of content prompts, tools, hashtags, and templates. And it includes a 3-month calendar with things to say every single day from October to December. It is so helpful. So go out, enjoy the sunshine, and feel uber prepared for the holiday season when you grab yours now. Just head to holidaycontentideas.com. So here's what I love about our chief wire wrangler over here with Buckaroo Bling and what I believe she did that really helped. And a lot of you out there might feel the same way. She knows her numbers. So
Mhm.
what we teach inside of multi-stream machine is one, how to price, get the right margins, and two, basically have the right margins so you are profitable. But here's where I see the things happening. One, had my first $2,000 month in August. Incredible, because I believe and we believe that you should easily be able to hit $2,000 a month. It's from there that we want to snowball. So if you're not at $2,000 a month yet, it really is going to take the work of truthfully focusing versus expanding, right? Focusing and figuring out your best seller with the best customer and how to sell more. Now, the other thing I love, so also J.A. Louis knew about when they reached their goal in 2022 for all of 2021. But here's the thing: improved conversion rate on my website by 36%. How would you know that if you weren't tracking,
Yeah.
right? So many times we're like, I don't get any sales. But if you're not paying attention to why you're not getting sales, what your conversion rate is, what your bounce rate is, things like that. If you're not, what is it? If you're not tracking, it doesn't grow, or what is the phrase?
Yeah. So it's what you measure will grow. So if you're not measuring or you're not growing, then there's no intention behind your actions and your thoughts and all those things. That's what, what strategy is? It's action and thoughts. So like even this whole, she increased her average order value by 30%. I mean, that's bonkers. So like even with that, like having the intention of I'm going to grow it, and I'm going to see what because then she's putting certain products in front of her customers, or specific offers, or focusing on her best sellers, or focusing on a specific platform, or whatever it is. Then there is like the foresight that you start to do as a business owner. And so I think that has been so great. So she got to know her numbers, and she really is focusing on what is making those numbers expand. And that's my favorite part of the story.
Yeah, and she took action, right? So somebody asked her in her post that she posted, wow, this is incredible. What actions did you do to get those improvements? I wish my conversion rate could improve. So she said, I started with the website module and multi-stream machine and worked from there. I also stopped throwing spaghetti at the wall when it comes to marketing and started focusing on a select few sites and magazines in my niche, plus my mailing list of about 400 people, which improved the traffic quality. My conversion rate is still not where I want it to be, but it's moving in the right direction. So just want to say we're so proud of you. We wanted to shout you out on the podcast. That's Buckaroo Bling. And just really proud of you by creating that path to profit inside of multi-stream machine. And like Mina said, it's taking the action, right? But it's not like wild action of like, I'm going to try all the things and hope something works. It was really focused action following the path to profit, using what we taught inside, and then seeing these results. So we're so excited to hear where you land at the end of this year.
Yes.
Okay. So our final story we want to share, our final MSM win and looking back, is from Emily. I think I'm going to butcher her name. Tabag.
I have no way to confirm if you've butchered it or not.
But a bakery Tico. And this is what Emily wrote. Looking back on 2021 and feeling very thankful for MSM. With the help of MSM this year, I almost 3x'd my revenue from last year. I added my first wholesale client. I signed a lease for a commercial kitchen, so I will no longer be baking out of my home. This is a big one because it means my production capacity is greatly increased. Will speed up production time. I can bake a wider variety of production since I'm not home-based, and will be able to hire an employee at some point. And then I sent emails even when I didn't want to, which resulted in sales. And I grew my confidence because I had a plan for my business. And then she said, thank you for helping. Oh, actually, sorry, it's not Bakery Tico. It's Mama Bear Bakery. She's wearing one of our MSM students. So Mama Bear Bakery. And that was Emily who founded it.
Yeah. I wanted to end with this one, which with our last story, because I think that this last statement that she makes is super, super important. And that is, grew my confidence because I had a plan for my business. So the best thing that we can give all of you is clarity and confidence in what you're doing, but confidence doesn't grow without the clarity. And for you to know your numbers and know that being busy is different than being profitable, and feeling encouraged and feeling like you're motivated to work on your business. Those are a lot of things that come with confidence of, putting one foot in front of the other. So, and you're not waiting for the motivation to come. You're taking the action regardless of that. But if you have a community around you and you have confidence within you, it makes a world of difference. And it shows in the results that you get for your business.
Absolutely. So I think that's a really big thing. I think a lot of times, and we know it, we can do a lot of things. We can do a lot of things. We can grow businesses out of our homes. But here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. Oftentimes they think if I just had the exact steps, which we teach inside of Multi-Stream Machine, right? If I had the exact steps, I could make it happen. But here's the other side of the coin. If you don't have the right mindset around it, if you don't have the confidence, if you don't, I just got off a call with one of our students earlier who said she's handmade accessory business and was like, I'm always making things. I love making. I don't feel confident selling, but I love making. And it was like we all know that we can make and create and create. But that confidence to sell the product, that confidence to stand fully behind this beautiful business that you've created and to sell it and to market it and to get it in front of more people. Because what are your results? What are your goals? Where do you all want to be at the end of this holiday season? Where do you want to be at the end of 2023? So what steps need to happen? And really a big part of it is exactly what Emily did, which was growing your confidence with a plan for your business. And I think
Yeah.
that's so important.
Yeah. So don't get scared. And what Jacqueline was saying is she's saying like that you need to sell your product. It's not that you have to sell it by getting on a stage or anything like that, right? But you do have to have strategy to turn to in order to know, okay, I know that I need to have a sales channel for this. I know that I need to bring in visibility, even if it's not social media, if that's not what I want to do. So we do a lot of that in Path to Profit, where you figure out what the path to profit for you is, right? What's going to make you gain confidence? Because it's not necessarily that you're gaining confidence to show up to sell like, with, watches in your, jacket. It's like showing up to that you are a business owner. You're the boss of your business, and you're taking the action, enough confidence to take actions that you need to do, And so a lot of times, because when you're not confident, I know this for sure, you become paralyzed by it. You wait to see what happens. You if you're not confident, you're like, "Oh, I'm not sure, I don't know what action to take. I'm waiting for this or I'm waiting for that or I don't know this or it feels so uncertain," and you operate from a place of fear instead of a place of confidence, because confident people don't need perfection. They'll still move forward, And they're like, "Oh, okay, I know that Jacqueline and Mina told me I need to focus on my bestsellers, what's making me 80% of my revenue, with 20% of my output, right? So I'm going to just take the next step forward. I'm going to optimize my website, and here's how to do, or I'm going to listen to this module and see if that's really what I want to take," because confidence is usually in uncertain or fear is usually in uncertainty. It's because you don't know what you don't know, but you build your confidence because you're like, "Oh, okay, I can make a decision on this. It's either right for me or it's not right for me, or I'm going to take the first step and see what happens." It's not like it's progress instead of perfection. And you're able to make progress because you're a little bit more confident in the decision that you're making, you know?
Yeah. And it's never going to be 100% confidence. We're business owners. This whole thing
Yeah.
is a giant experiment of
Get
on
giant.
giant, right? It's a giant experiment of building our own businesses in the way that we want to build them and trying things, applying them, taking things away, trying it again. But the confidence comes with that you're not alone. Right. The confidence comes with
Mhm.
at least you created strategy on the front end. The confidence comes with you're not figuring this out. It's not like YouTube University or Googling things or trying to pick up little bits of free content that you can get here and there.
And
But
being
the
overloaded by it instead.
yeah, decision paralysis of like, but what do I do for my business specifically? And I'll tell you, I think that's why Multi-Stream Machine has been so successful. That it is not a one size fits all cookie cutter approach to small product based business owners, but rather it really goes into who you are, what kind of business you want to create, no matter what your business is. Like we've shared a baker, we shared handmade lingerie, we shared la, 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 I'm
Jewelry.
blank jewelry.
Handmade, yeah.
Yeah, and we have manufacturers in there, people who source and bring it in, like Mina's business. And so the thing is that you each have your own path to profit. But what we want you to feel is just a slightly more confident that there's strategy behind your decision making, that there's a plan in action. We can always change things. And honestly, as business owners, I'll say Mina and I have made some big decisions in the last couple of weeks for our business, which will be test and try mode. And we were both a little scared. Are we confident it'll work? Well, we're going to try. And then we're going to see what
Mhm.
happens. And so that's the thing, right? You're going to do it scared. You're going to do it anyways. So I hope that these these stories, these sort of like looking back reflections, were helpful to you. And we want you each to look back. Look
Yeah.
back at where you were. And then I want you to think forward and think, if I were to look back to where I am today, a year from now, what would I want to look back on and say, wow, I did all of these things, right? I
Yeah.
accomplished all of these things.
Right. Because even if you accomplish things, right, like you're looking back and you realize I actually needed more support on this or less support. That's the really unique thing about multi-stream machine too. It's not just strategy. It's not just strategy in a silo, and you're just alone on your island with your silo of information. It's literally in a community of people that are blending their life together to their path to profit. So not only is it strategy, but it's support. And it's support in a way that it leads to that confidence that I was talking about. So I think that for all of you, when you're looking back, you start to see, okay, this helped and this didn't. This worked and this didn't. I really needed this to make this even better. Or I need to know not just the first next step, but I need this specific support around me, right? And so you start to really get closer to your dream life and how you function in this world and what you really want. So I think that, we're so happy to be sharing these stories of multi-stream machine students because they're so different and they've taken something different away from each one, different results, different life, different, approach to even jumping in. But yet, what was the outcome? That they got closer to what they wanted in their life. So that has been really that's really the success of multi-stream machine. It's not the, hey, get you to this specific goal that we set for you. It's that you get to set the goal and that you got closer to it. And we applaud all of you for jumping in and taking action.
Yes. So especially our multi-stream machine, I can't even say the word anymore, multi-stream machine students out there, we just want to tell you, we're really proud of you. We're really proud of the action and the work you're taking. Keep posting it inside of that community. The support that's happening in there, the feedback that's happening there is incredible. And we're just so proud of you. And to everyone else that may not be a student of ours yet, or maybe you're a student in one of our other programs, we're proud of you as well, because here's the deal. You're entrepreneurs. You're scrappy and courageous. Not everyone decides to jump into entrepreneurship, and you all did with your product-based businesses. So we're really proud of you, and we want you to know that we're here with you every week, twice a week on the podcast to continue to support you.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
This episode is brought to you by the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge. We believe that when you purchase from a small online or offline business, your dollar goes further. Hey friends, Mina and I created the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge, and we're inviting you to take the pledge with us. It's a commitment to make 1 in 5 of your purchases from a small business, online or offline. It's a way to make an impact together where and when it matters most. Because the truth is, your purchasing power matters now more than ever. We're inviting you to take the pledge if you head to shop1in5.com. The link is in the show notes. And when you get there, please make sure to share the pledge with your friends, your family, and your customers. Let's invite everyone to take the Shop 1 in 5 pledge so that we can all use our purchasing power to change lives. Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, and even share this episode on social or someone you know so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us.